off Venezuela!
Hands off Venezuela!
Hands off Venezuela!
Hands off Venezuela!
Hands off Venezuela!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air! U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of everywhere!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of everywhere!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of everywhere!
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? Fight for power. Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
Fight the power!
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
Fight the power!
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
Fight the power!
Millions for war, but can't feed the poor. We're fired up. Won't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't feed the poor. We're fired up. Won't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't feed the poor. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere.
U.S. out of everywhere!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
And the sanctions right now.
End the sanctions right now!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
And the sanctions right now.
End the sanctions right now!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
And the sanctions right now.
End the sanctions right now!
Not a penny, not a dollar.
Not a penny, not a dollar!
We won't pay for war and slaughter.
We won't pay for war and slaughter!
Not a penny, not a dollar.
Not a penny, not a dollar!
We won't pay for war and slaughter.
We won't pay for war and slaughter!
Trump lies, people die.
Trump lies, people die!
Trump lies.
Trump lies, people die!
Trump lies.
People die!
Trump lies.
People die!
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Fund the people's needs, not the war machine. Fund the people's needs.
Not the war machine!
Fund the people's needs.
Not the war machine!
Fund the people's needs.
Not the war machine!
Fund the people's needs. Biggest threat in the world today? Donald Trump and the USA.
Donald Trump in the USA!
Biggest threat in the world today.
Biggest threat in the world today!
Donald Trump and the USA.
Donald Trump in the USA!
Biggest threat in the world today.
Biggest threat in the world today!
Donald Trump in the USA.
Donald Trump in the USA!
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
Fight the power!
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
Stop the fire!
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
Fight the power!
Billions for war, but can't feed the poor. We're fired up. Won't take it no more.
Won't take it no more!
Billions for criminal acts. We know that Trump is lying when he says that this war is about drug smuggling. This is a war for oil. The U.S. government is imposing a blockade, murdering fishermen, stealing tankers full of oil, invading Venezuela, and kidnapping the country's head of state. And these are illegal acts. And we, in unison with 70 other cities and 70% of the American population, regardless of their political affiliation, demand that these illegal acts of war end immediately. This has the potential to escalate further into an all-out invasion and occupation of the country. If this happens, it would not be the children of oil executives or the CEOs of weapons manufacturers like Boeing or Lockheed Martin who are set to kill and die. It would be working class young people. It would be people like you and me that Trump sends to die in this war for oil. They take money out of our pockets to pay for bombs dropped on working class people abroad while we work ourselves to death to pay for rent, for food, and utilities. Well, we say no more. We say no boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
U.S. out of everywhere.
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 All right, and to start off our program with our first speaker, I would like to welcome Adam from the Palestinian Youth Movement.
From Palestine to Venezuela,
From Palestine to Venezuela.
U.S. out of everywhere.
U.S. out of everywhere.
From Palestine to Venezuela,
From Palestine to Venezuela.
U.S. out of everywhere.
U.S. out of everywhere.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Greetings, comrades. My name is Adam with the Palestinian Youth Movement. We are a grassroots international movement of Palestinian and Arab youth in the diaspora fighting for the liberation of our homeland and for the right to return for all those that were expelled. Unfortunately, today we are gathered here because the U.S. is re-implementing the same agenda, the same tactics that they have done all around the world, whether it be in Iraq, whether it be in Iran, or whether it be in the countless countries where the U.S. has implemented quote-unquote regime change to bring in democracy. We know, having watched this playbook, the same lies are used, the same tactics are used, the same methods of manufacturing consent are used. In Iraq, they claimed they had weapons of mass destruction, and we all know that was a lie. In Iran, they've been claiming that the Iranian state has been at the precipice of developing a nuclear weapon for the past 20 years. Shame! And all of these lies have been used to forward American agendas, imperialist agendas. now we have seen what their play in Gaza has led to. Because the world was silent on Gaza, because they allowed America to do whatever they wanted. They allowed Israel, the Zionist entity, to do whatever they wanted. Kill hundreds of thousands of people without saying anything, and the U.S. does not stop. And now we are seeing the consequences of that. They went and they bombed Iran for no reason. And now they went and they kidnapped the rightful ruler of Venezuela because no one in the international community there stands up. Shame! We are seeing the decline of the so-called world order. This lie that we were sold that the United States is the harbinger of democracy and the upholder of human rights is falling as they fall in the status in the world. They fear the rise of China. They fear the rise of the counterweights. They are afraid of the rising counterweights to U.S. power. So in response to this, their goal is to go on a rampage all across the world. They started with Gaza, they went to Iran, and now they're on a war path against Venezuela. Shame! And we know the losers in Congress, the wimps in Congress, the dogs in the White House are never going to do anything either for the people of the United States or for the people of Venezuela. It is all a lie because the only thing that U.S. empire and U.S. imperialists and capitalists care about is perpetuating and furthering their goal. When he talked about his operation in Venezuela, all he could talk about was the oil, the oil, the oil, the oil. Oh, and we'll redistribute it to the people. Which is a lie. We know what he's talking about. Because when he says the Venezuelan people, when they nationalized their oil sector, that was thievery, we know what he's saying. He's saying that the Venezuelan people stole from the American companies. And how can a people steal their own oil? They were reclaiming their oil.
That's right.
We are living under their dream in Venezuela. They want what we have here. The corporations leading everything. The corporations controlling everything to be the same in Venezuela. They can't let any free country in the world stand on its own. And we know it's not going to stop with Venezuela, like it didn't stop with Palestine, and they will continue. And he said it today. He said he's going to go after Cuba. He said he's going to go to war against them. Even though he thinly veiled it without saying it aloud, we know what he means when he says Cuba is next. So, for us, as people of consciousness all around the world, what does that mean? It means we have a duty to stand up and raise our voices and fight back.
That's right.
They aim to isolate Palestine. They aim to isolate Iran. They aim to isolate Venezuela. They think they can pick us off one by one. But that is where our joint struggle shows the most. We have to be at the forefront against this demonic regime here in the White House behind me. We have to be the ones that show how interconnected our struggles are. We cannot be silent because they will continue to ravage us here in the United States and all the peoples of the world. So when Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth are up there spewing propaganda, we have to be, before they even start talking, pushing our points, pushing the truth onto the people of the world. Because we cannot let them get away with this manufactured consent like they did in Palestine, like they did in Iraq, and like they did in Iran. They only care about oil. The people of Venezuela are an obstacle to them. They don't care about the people of Venezuela, like they don't care about us here in the United States, like they don't care about the people in Gaza. They talk about Venezuela the same way they're talking about Gaza. They're gonna have an administrative team that runs Gaza, full of technocrats of their choosing, so that they can build a technology utopia in Gaza. And now they're implementing the same thing in Venezuela, saying that the US government is gonna take control of Venezuela and dictate what's happening. But we know that's impossible, both in Venezuela and in Gaza, because the people reject US imperialism. Our liberation as a working class people, as people of consciousness, is only sharpened by these ruthless attacks that the US government does. And what is demanded of us right now is that we unify, is that we organize, is that we educate ourselves, our loved ones, and our community members about this, and is that we build real power by being united. So, once you're done here, find an organization. Find a group of people that are like-minded like you, that reject US imperialism, that you will reject US capitalism, and that want to work for a better world. Because without taking those steps, those material steps, we will be out here for years and years and years as they continue to ravage the whole world. But do not fear. It is the most dark before the light. The US is struggling to hold on to its place in the world, and they will continue to struggle to hold on to their place because they cannot accept a world order where they have to share power with anyone. And that will be their demise. They will throw away their whole people, throw us all under the bus so that they can hold on to their power. And we're not going to sit idly by, are we? No! So, it is up to us to fight back. It is up to us to stand side by side by the Bolivarian revolution in Venezuela and all over South America, because they are fighting for what we are talking about right here. They are fighting for the right for their people to dictate their own rights. They are fighting for their sovereignty. And Pete Heck said it loud and clear. He didn't even hide it. He said, this is the largest attack on sovereignty. They're not even hiding it anymore. They think we're stupid. They think we don't know what's happening. And we have to prove them wrong. We have to stand up, we have to fight back, and we have to organize right now. The people united
will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
The people united will never be defeated!
Thank you all. Viva Venezuela! Viva Chavez! Viva the Bolivarian Revolution! Free, free Palestine!
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education!
Not for war and occupation.
Not for war and occupation!
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education!
Not for war and occupation.
Not for war and occupation!
Up next, I would like to welcome Leonardo Flores with Code Pink.
Everyone, my name is Leonardo Flores. I'm with the Venezuela Solidarity Network and with Code Pink. I didn't prepare any more remarks today, so forgive me if I ramble a little bit. Obviously, I'm from Venezuela. A little bit in shock, obviously, at what happened early in this morning, late last night, when the United States apparently sent over 150 planes to bomb Venezuela and kidnap the legitimate and constitutional President Nicolas Maduro. Yeah, it's a complete shame, and you know, the issue isn't the legality or illegality of these actions, because I don't really care what Congress says. If Trump really wanted a war, he could get them to approve a war. It doesn't really even matter for our leaders or policymakers that 70% of the people of the United States are against this war.
Right.
We don't have a democracy here, that's clear. But Venezuela has a democracy.
Right.
That to me is clearer than ever, that Venezuela has more democracy than the United States. And right now, do you know how the Venezuelan people are responding? They're out on the streets. They're resolute. I might be in shock, but I'm more resolved than ever to defend the Bolivarian revolution, to express my solidarity with the Venezuelan people, and to denounce these fucking war criminals, these imperialist dogs and bastards who dare kill innocent people for oil?
Yeah!
They're killing for oil again? Really? It's disgusting what they're doing. And I hear that this is just the start. Trump today in his press conference, he said that it was going to be the first of a wave of bombings. And let's not pretend like the bombings are going to stay just in Venezuela. Because of the 32 attacks on boats in the last 4 months, 20 have been in the Pacific. Venezuela doesn't have a Pacific coastline. This is an attack also on Colombia, on Mexico, on Honduras, on El Salvador and the people of El Salvador. Trump, haven't seen the quote yet, but he was apparently on, I think it was Fox and Friends this morning, saying that, oh, it's not just Venezuela that's so-called controlled by cartels, but it's Mexico as well. We know that Trump's right-hand Nazi, Stephen Miller, first wanted to bomb Mexico, not Venezuela. So Mexico's very much under threat. And it's not just stand with Venezuela, it's stand with Mexico. Stand with President Sheinbaum as we stand with President Maduro.
That's right.
This pretext of drugs is totally ridiculous because prior to Chavez and Maduro, 53% of the world's cocaine flowed through Venezuela. Today it's down to 5%.
That's right.
And that number started going way down after Venezuela kicked out the USDEA. They talk about the so-called Cartel de los Soles. Well, why don't you all look up the Fort Bragg cartel when you go home today and see how deeply involved the U.S. military is in drug trafficking. We know who profits from the drugs. It's banks in the United States. They profit billions of dollars. In fact, it was the drug trade that really helped this country during the 2009-2008 Great Recession. It was that laundered money, that blood money running through the banks that kept this kind of economic engine going. And then they bomb Venezuela to kidnap Maduro, but the saps are free. They're responsible for this opioid crisis, not Venezuela. No fentanyl, no opioids go through Venezuela.
That's right.
I mean, look, the point is, the Venezuelan people are totally resolute right now. This idea that you're going to kidnap Maduro and somehow that leads to magical regime change, that's fantastic thinking. That's wishful thinking for these imperialists. That's not happening. Venezuela's top general was already on TV saying that they're going to defend themselves. So was the Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello. Venezuela's social movements, the communes, the unions, they're on the streets right now.
That's right.
Just like we're on the streets saying no to this crazy war. No crazy war, yes peace, as President Maduro was saying over and over again. And that's why they kidnapped him, because he was making Trump look like a fool. And I want to say a few words about President Maduro, because he's been demonized in the media for the last 12 years since he became the president of Venezuela. This is a man who wasn't born with a silver spoon like that one. He's a working class leader who became a bus driver and a union leader. And then when Chavez was in prison in 1992, he went to visit Chavez and became even more radicalized. He became a socialist. And from there, President Maduro became one of the drafters of Venezuela's constitution. He eventually became the foreign minister, widely respected around the world, and that's one of the main reasons that Venezuela isn't isolated internationally, is because President Maduro was Chavez's foreign minister. And they make you think that, oh, Venezuela's alone. Venezuela's not alone. Not only are we with Venezuela, but country after country, including some of the most powerful countries in the world, the most populous countries of the world, continue to stand with Venezuela.
That's right.
Maduro won his first election under circumstances that honestly felt a little bit like today when we heard that Chavez had passed away. And he assumed the mantle of the Bolivarian Revolution, and he led Venezuela during its darkest times. And he led Venezuela so successfully that Venezuela has had 5 years of economic growth despite the crippling economic sanctions, the economic warfare perpetrated by this Nazi government. President Maduro is a man of honor. And one of the many things that separates Maduro from that dude is that Maduro isn't on the Epstein list. So why are they bombing right now? Well, gee, I wonder, could it be because the pressure's mounting on Trump? I'm really heartened to see so many people come out today in so many cities on such short notice. For our movement. And I'm also very heartened by what Adam said before me, because there are so many parallels between Gaza and between Venezuela.
That's right.
Did the people, of course, did the people of Palestine lay down and surrender when the Israelis murdered Yahya Sinwar?
No.
Did the people of Iran lay down and surrender when the United States murdered General Soleimani?
No.
The Venezuelan people aren't going to lay down and surrender. They're going to fight. They're going to fight for their homes. They're going to fight for their territory. They're going to fight for what's rightfully theirs, and they're going to fight for their sovereignty, because they know if they don't fight, the U.S. is going to try to wipe them out.
Yes. Yes.
In the recent weeks, the hate speech from Venezuela's fascists has gone out of control. They post pictures of hospitals in Caracas and they say, there's an underground bunker. There's a bunker underneath this hospital. They want the hospitals bombed. I haven't received confirmation yet, but one of the places that I heard was hit today was a warehouse containing dialysis machines that were being repaired. They're directly attacking the Venezuelan people's health and the Venezuelan people themselves, because there were many civilian casualties this morning. We don't know how many yet. And we need to continue to stand up for the Venezuelan people and for President Nicolas Maduro. And I want you to join me in the chant. Maduro, amigo, el pueblo está contigo. Maduro, amigo, el pueblo está contigo. Thank you very much.
Biggest threat in the world today? Donald Trump and the USA! Donald Trump and the USA! Biggest threat in the world today? Biggest threat in the world today! Donald Trump and the USA! Donald Trump and the USA! Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? Take the power! Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? Take the power! Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? Take the power! All right, up next on our program, we have Nell with the Democratic Socialists of America. Thank you. Thanks to Adam and Leo for those really illuminating comments. The Democratic Socialists of America calls on the people of the United States to protest and resist this illegal war and to stand in solidarity with the people of Venezuela. So let's focus our work in this moment on building the anti-imperialist movement. This is a moment to bring together all of our movements and communities, to strengthen our coalitions, to draw connections between, on the one hand, the U.S. government's illegal military actions abroad to secure the natural resources and global domination that drive the capitalist machine, and on the other hand, its domestic agenda of tax
cuts and union busting to enrich corporations and the 1% at the expense of the working class. What are the goals of this imperialist war? To install a U.S. puppet government that will turn over Venezuela's oil and mineral resources to U.S. corporations and to force capitalist hegemony in Latin America. This war is illegal under both international law and the laws governing the declaration of war within the United States. Trump's war has nothing to do with drug trafficking, as you just heard from Leo. Yet the Trump administration is using this claim about drug trafficking as the pretext for this illegal war. This is another regime change war to crush resistance to U.S. imperialism and steal another country's oil, just like the failed war against Iraq. As a reminder, Trump just pardoned the president of Honduras for trafficking over 400 tons of cocaine. This is not about drugs. That's right. Trump's war will only immiserate the people of Latin America. It will also destabilize the international economy, leading to greater inflation for American workers and disrupting supply chains we all rely on. This war will enrich and empower the same cartel of corporations and CEOs who prevent America's working class from accessing health care, housing, and fair wages and employment. It will not stop here unless we rise up together.
That's right.
The Democratic Socialists of America is a national organization comprised of over 95,000 working people. We demand a return of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Silvia Flores to Venezuela.
That's right.
An immediate end to the war and an end to all U.S. military violence against Venezuela.
That's right.
A total withdrawal of all U.S. warships, fighter jets, and military assets from the Caribbean, and an end to any operations with intervention purposes driven by Southcom.
That's right.
Get rid of Southcom.
Yeah.
An end to the illegal unilateral sanctions against Venezuela, and an end to the use of unilateral sanctions anywhere in the world, which kill an estimated 500,000 people every year.
Yay!
An end to the failed war on drugs framework that has already led to massive human and environmental tragedies in countries including Colombia and Mexico. The resolution of the diplomatic relations with the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, including the reopening of the embassy and consular offices in U.S. territory. And a U.S. foreign policy centered on peace, multilateralism, and respect for national sovereignty and self-determination. We must remember, Trump is a symptom and imperialism is the root problem. It is the disease. We can defeat those through collective resistance by organizing where we live, work, pray, and where we gather. From union halls to community spaces to halls of power, we will challenge and dismantle the illegal U.S. war machine and fight for a world free from occupation, exploitation, and empire. Thank you.
Not a penny, not a dollar.
Not a penny, not a dollar.
We won't pay for war and slaughter.
We won't pay for war and slaughter.
Not a penny, not a dollar.
Not a penny, not a dollar.
We won't pay for war and slaughter.
We won't pay for war and slaughter.
Trump lies, people die.
Trump lies, people die.
Trump lies, people die.
Trump lies, people die.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
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 Up next, we are going to have a song from the Rapid Response Choir and the DC Activist Street Band. Give it up!
So some people look out on you and they see a crowd a rabble, maybe a mob. I look out on you and I see a musical instrument ready to be put to the purpose of the resistance. Because anger motivates us, music sustains us, because we have a long fight ahead, but we are here for this fight. So the DC Activist Street Band is going to play us into Down by the Riverside, and then we're going to sing, gonna lay down my sword and shield, gonna stand up for justice, and gonna sing out for peace today as the verses. So, DC Activist, and so DC Activist Street Band, take it away. Sing out for peace today. Gonna sing out for peace today. Down by the riverside. Down by the riverside. Down by the riverside. Sing out for peace today. Down by the riverside. Study war no more.
Let's give it up for them one more time.
From the people's needs, not the war machine.
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 Up next on our program, we have Ben with the Cuba-Venezuela Solidarity Committee.
Hey, Venezuela!
No bombs in the air, U.S. out of everywhere.
Streets and the demand saying no blood for oil, U.S. hands out of Latin America. Right now, Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, is being kidnapped on a boat taken to New York City. Right now, our own president sends military to Venezuela, but D.C., Chicago, L.A., Portland. So we can see very clearly the connections between who stands for democracy and who stands for dictatorship and fascism. Is that not right?
That's right!
So this is why we have to be very clear about where we stand right now. Right now, we have a country that is led by someone who has no regard for international law, that rejects the democracy of people that reject him, and that demonizes people across the world without merit. We saw it in Gaza. We saw it with the illegal bombings in Iran. We see it with the criminal deportation and occupation in our own streets. Yeah, shame.
Shame!
And so it's become clearer and clearer that there are two sides to this conflict. Our brother from the Palestinian Youth Movement made very clear those connections. But we have to understand even more so the idea that if Venezuela's oil taken by the hands of the Venezuelan people, it's their oil just as much as our natural resources should be in the hands of us, not ExxonMobil, not ConocoPhillips, not these corporations that run our country and just leave us with crumbs.
That's right!
Right now, Trump says we're going to take over and govern Venezuela.
Shame!
But can he even govern this country?
No!
We can run this country. We know how it runs. But he allows people like Jeff Bezos, like Elon Musk, like Peter Thiel. These people that say that AI, that, mass unemployment, that we don't matter. So this is all very connected. And I'm an organizer with the Cuba-Venezuela Solidarity Committee. And so we understand within the committee that Cuba and Venezuela have deep ties as sister republics. Cuba has sent doctors amidst the sanctions and blockades in Venezuela to heal the people, to provide the free health care. Right now, Medicare is being cut. Obamacare subsidies are being cut here. And they're saying that we have a democratic system that we want to import, that we want to install. Democracy shouldn't be installed. It comes from the people.
That's right!
And so today we see the people on every street, again in 70 cities across this country, more probably since we began. More and more people are waking up to the reality. And that's all the more important now, because unlike what Trump, Pete Hegseth, Narco Rubio believe, this is not a quick war. They said that with Afghanistan. They said we're going to go in, we're going to take over and put the Taliban out of power. Well, who runs Afghanistan now?
The Taliban.
They invaded Vietnam. They said we need to contain communism. Then, after a genocidal bombing campaign, more bombs dropped in Vietnam than in the entirety of the Western Front in World War II. The Vietnam wanted to stay home, and the people that were sent there wanted to go home. It was very clear, and then suddenly we find ourselves with the Socialist Democratic Republic of Venezuela, or Vietnam, in power. So the people, the lesson of history is clear. Imperialism, U.S. interventionism, it has a level of ego that is unmatched. Trump is, you know, a loud, boisterous fool. He's an asshole.
Right.
He is someone that doesn't play by the rules of the more polite interventionists. So let that be the guide of all of us. More and more people see the true face of U.S. foreign policy. It took years for the people in the United States to wake up to the genocidal campaign in Vietnam, and it's already taken days for us to take to the streets and defend Venezuelan people's right to their own country. So again, we need to understand that this isn't over. Nicolas Maduro, he's not the only person in Venezuela that's fighting for sovereignty.
Right.
The people in Venezuela have taken to the streets just as we have. The people in Europe, the people in Brazil, you see it on our phones more than ever, that the people around the world are rejecting this. Even if their countries, their leaders are saying nothing. We see it similar to Gaza. The people are practicing democracy, and we know that we need this new system. We need to allow for the people to actually rule. And so with this is where we're keeping the flame alive. We're blowing on these embers. We're rising this flame. And soon will be an actual fire that will really bring the energy of the people, not only to the streets, but to power once and for all. So again, I'll leave you as I found you. Hands off Venezuela!
Off Venezuela!
Hands off Venezuela!
Hands off Venezuela!
Boots in the ground, no bombs in the air!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of everywhere!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
U.S. out of everywhere!
U.S. out of everywhere!
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Up next on our program, we have Jackie with the Black Alliance for Peace. Give it up.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, imperialism's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Imperialism's got to go! 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 Hey, hey!
Peace, everyone. My name is Jackie Lukman. I am with the Black Alliance for Peace. BAP exists to revive and advance and solidify the anti-war, anti-imperialist peace movement of the Black radical tradition that our ancestors started from the minute the Europeans stepped foot on our home and dragged us away. We've been fighting this beast, and we have been trying to tell our working class and poor brothers and sisters in this country, in the beating heart of this empire, that this is our enemy, and it always has been. So just like everybody else, the Black Alliance for Peace made sure to issue a definitive statement in opposition to this evil, violent, disgusting move by the U.S. government and this regime, and in full support of the Bolivarian Revolution and the Venezuelan people. We know that this bombing, that this kidnapping, this This was not a capture, y'all. Notice how U.S. media describes what this government does. They said they captured Maduro as if he was running from somebody. That man had not committed any kind of crimes where he needed to be hiding from anybody. Nobody was chasing him. He is the duly and democratically elected leader of Venezuela, and it does not matter who doesn't like it. The Venezuelan people chose him. We say that this also reminds us of the kidnapping of Jean-Bertrand Aristide from Haiti in 2004. A move that kicked off the ongoing U.S.-led occupation of Haiti that continues today, as well as the U.S. invasion of Panama in 1989 and add Grenada, add Nicaragua, add El Salvador, add Colombia, go on and add Palestine. Go on and add Southeast D.C., baby. Go ahead and add wherever it is that you can't afford health care, you can't afford your rent, you can barely afford food, but these people find all the money in the world to drop bombs on countries that use their resources to provide those things you can't afford to their people. Detailing the operation, Trump claims that the U.S. will run the Venezuelan government to ensure a transition and is preparing to continue attacking the country again. Yet we know that the U.S. is not running Venezuela at the moment, and they will never run Venezuela. And this is part of the U.S.'s psychological war and will not be accepted by the people of Venezuela or by us. In the face of these attacks, the working class, revolutionary people, and popular movements of Venezuela have taken to the streets in support of the Bolivarian Revolution. Outside of Venezuela, anti-imperialist, anti-war, and pro-peace movements and organizations must continue to defend and stand alongside the brave people of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Now I'm inviting you to read the remainder of that statement at blackallianceforpeace.com. I want to say this to you, my friends. If you didn't care what this government did to Haiti, you need to understand that your lack of concern then created the approval for this to happen now. If you weren't all that concerned about what's been going on in Gaza, that's why they felt like they could do this now. If you didn't care about the lies and the attacks and the aggression against the Alliance of Sahel states, this is why they think they can get away with this now. If you didn't care about what this government and the Israeli government is doing in Sudan, in Congo, all across the African continent, Israel says now they are going to help rid Africa of terrorism. Israel is about to invade Africa, y'all. Do you see that there is no conflict, no interest, no greed that the United States government extends around the world that does not impact you? It is all connected. There is no isolated struggle for Venezuelan sovereignty. Without the struggle for the sovereignty of the Asian people, without the struggle for the sovereignty of the people in the entire Caribbean, and there is no struggle for sovereignty in the global South without the struggle for sovereignty of working class, poor, and oppressed people right here. struggles of working class and poor Africans and other working class and poor and oppressed people here, we get crickets. Because those are the issues that certain people are concerned about. We are here to tell you the same thing that our ancestors told us, the same thing that our black radical, anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, pro-peace forefathers and mothers told us. If one of us is not free, none of us are free. So we are absolutely in solidarity with the people of Venezuela because we understand they are fighting our enemy. We are in solidarity with the people of Palestine because they are fighting our enemy. We are in solidarity with the people of Cuba, Nicaragua. We are in solidarity with the people in the AES and Sudan and the Congo and every group of people that is fighting U.S., EU, NATO-backed imperialism and bloodshed around the world. And this fight cannot stop today. After today, we are going to have to pay very close attention to everything this government is doing everywhere. We are going to have to pay a lot more attention to what local politicians are doing to prop up consent in our communities for these imperialist, national, international foreign policies. We have to get much more involved in this thing called politics because this is how this thing called politics that we don't like to pay attention to because it's so depressing and it's so difficult and it's so complicated. Politics is how they're killing us. Division is how they are killing us. Having us respond to individual issues in silos is how they are killing us. If we are going to live, we have to fight. But we have to fight together, and that better start today, because the war is here. I am Jackie Lupon with the Black Alliance for Peace, and our motto is always no compromise and no retreat.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 Up next we have Teresa Paez with the Answer Coalition. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. You are out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. You are out of everywhere. Boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. You are out of everywhere. So I woke up, I was woken up at 1:30 a.m. from my family members back home saying they're bombing the city of Caracas. And let me tell you one thing. I have definitely never felt that feeling of your heart dropping. But let me tell you another thing. Our Palestinian brothers and sisters have felt the same thing. That's right. Our people from Afghanistan and Iraq, and our people right there in Latin America, in Panama, in Honduras, everywhere. Every single place that the U.S. drops a bomb. It drops right here at home. That's right. Where does that bomb drop? Well, we can't afford any of our health care. We have medical debt, student debt. We can't afford our freaking rent. Right. So the U.S. aggression in Venezuela, yes, it's an imperialist nature. And let me tell you, it's rooted in 200 years of a Monroe Doctrine that the United States attempts to say that the Latin America is its backyard and that any of its resources are theirs. And let me tell you, none of these resources
these bombs dropped at home. The U.S. Gerald Ford, the aircraft carrier that Trump deployed to the waters of the coast of Venezuela, it cost over $17 billion to build. We don't want our taxpayer dollars going out to bomb and kill people, don't we?
That's right.
We don't want that. We want exactly money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education,
Not for war and occupation.
money for jobs and education.
Not for war and occupation.
Exactly, not destroying another country for oil just like they did in Iraq around the same time that led to millions of deaths. Are we gonna allow this?
No!
Are we gonna allow this?
No!
And this could escalate to a full-on, on-the-ground invasion. Today, Trump said a couple of times, over and over again, that another set of bombs are gonna be dropping soon. Just because we have a country that decides that our resources, that the oil is to benefit the people, to benefit for public health care and public education and people that know how to read and write and have a consciousness to say no to U.S. invasion, no to another set of colonialism and imperialism in our land. And if there's one thing that my people have taught me, it's that we won't back down. So every single one of you, you won't back down. And this is not ending today. Unfortunately, as much as I would want it to end today, it's not going to end today. It's just the beginning. So just like they send our working class people to fight another people's war, whether it's in Afghanistan, whether it's in Iraq, whether it was in Vietnam, we won't allow it. But we must come out. We must be 20 million people in the streets.
That's right!
Say, no war in Venezuela.
No war in Venezuela.
No war for oil. No another war for oil.
Not another war for oil.
No bombs in the ground, no bombs in the air.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
No bombs in the ground, no bombs in the air.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
US out of everywhere.
US out of everywhere.
So I ask you to leave today and you can feel sorry for me. Sure, I don't give a shit. What I want you is to come out with every other person that you know. But we have to come out to demand the White House to return the president constitutionally to Venezuela. You cannot the president. It is illegal for you to bomb the country and for you to bomb fishermen in the Caribbean.
Yeah!
The criminal starts right here.
That's right. That's right.
The drug trafficker sits right here, and they sit right here, the billionaires that are taking our tax dollars to do exactly what we don't all want them to do. But we gotta demand it and we gotta fight for it.
That's right.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido
Jamás será vencido.
a people united.
We'll never be defeated.
The people united.
Never be defeated.
Thank you. Billions for war, but can't feed the poor.
War that can't be the
Against Trump Alliance.
When black people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When Venezuelans are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When Palestinians are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Say, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
That's right, give it up for yourselves. We are outside. It's cold as hell, but that don't matter. My name is Marawi. I'm with DC Against the Trump Agenda. And we're a coalition of organizations from across the DMV fighting back against the racist and reactionary Trump agenda. And we see that that fight is more important now than ever before as we see the U.S. now invading Venezuela. But let me say, this playbook ain't nothing new to me, and I'm sure many of y'all. I grew up in the middle of the war on drugs, right here in Washington, D.C., and saw how they used the pretext of drugs to destroy the black community. I still have friends who are locked up or languishing in poverty due to the effects of that fake war on drugs. Raise your hand if you grew up during that era. Raise your hand if you grew up in the 60s or 70s or 80s and saw them use that same playbook in Chile, in Colombia, in Palestine, name the country, any country, in Iran, in the Congo, wherever the hell else, in Vietnam, in Laos, and Cambodia, and every place in between. Where haven't they used that playbook? Ain't that right?
Right!
And we tired of that shit. Right now, it's not the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. Right now, we are in a new era. We are building this fight back to be greater than it ever was before because we want to win. Ain't that right?
That's right! That's right!
So I'm going to make it quick and say, when we have a president and a government that is dead set on kidnapping immigrants and everybody in between, and terrorizing black communities, and invading sovereign nations, and kidnapping presidents, it is our duty to make this here motherfucker ungovernable. Ain't that right? We want to make this shit ungovernable. And so we have one way of making that happen. The only power that we have, that they never will, is our unity and our numbers. Ain't that right?
That's right!
And the only way to use that power is to get organized. Ain't that right?
That's right!
If you're not in the organization, you join the organization. And everywhere you go, to every action you go to, you ask, what's the next one? Because we want to hit the streets as often as possible to make this war on Venezuela, this war on our people, impossible to continue to do. And so I say, DC Against the Trump Agenda is having an action and announcing right now today, we will be at Congress on Tuesday at 4 p.m. because Congress is complicit in this invasion of Venezuela. They are preparing to attack DC through all sorts of racist laws that they're trying to enact, and we say that will not happen. Ain't that right? So raise your hand if you're going to be at Congress 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Raise your hand if you're going to join the organization. Raise your hand if you're going to fight to build the united front against Trump and make this country ungovernable until it gets and becomes the place where we can all get our needs met. Ain't that right? No Donald Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. I said, no Donald Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. No Donald Trump, no KKK, no imperialist USA.
No Donald Trump, no KKK, no imperialist USA.
All right, give it up for yourselves.
Pentagon kills by the
Bayan.
Hands up! Hands up, Venezuela! Hands up, Venezuela! Hands up, Venezuela! Hands up, Venezuela! Warm and militant greetings, comrades! My name is Brittany. I'm with Bayan DMV, an alliance of Filipino organizations that are fighting for national democracy with a socialist perspective in the Philippines. Bayan DMV is also part of the International League of People's Struggles, which seeks to address the root causes of war and imperialism. History has taught us that imperialism means war. We know this in the Philippines. We know this in Palestine. And today we see this in Venezuela. We know that imperialist aggression only seeks to advance its imperialist agenda of global domination over every hemisphere for cheap resources and cheap labor. We know that the U.S. has never stood for human rights and democracy.
Right.
And the bombing of Venezuela makes it easy to see through their lies.
That's right.
In the Philippines, 2 days ago on New Year's Day, the U.S.-backed Marcos regime bombed the island of Mindoro.
Yay!
They justified it saying that they were attacking terrorists. But in reality, they're attacking the revolutionary movement of the Philippines.
Yay!
We know that the U.S. government is the real terrorist.
That's right.
The U.S. government is the #1 threat to democracy and peace in the world. Is that right?
That's right.
In the U.S. and abroad, the U.S. is resorting to outright fascism because they know that the imperialist empire is under decline.
That's right.
Their fascism is the last resort to maintain their control. We see this in D.C. We see this in the Asia Pacific. We see this in Latin America, in the Middle East, in Palestine. But we also know that the people fight back.
That's right.
The revolutionary movement in the Philippines has fought back and is still fighting back as they have for over 6 decades.
Yeah.
Bayan in the Philippines and in the U.S. sees that our main contribution is to advance and win our own revolution and deliver a powerful blow to the U.S. imperialist empire. And in the same way, we know that ultimately it will be the people of Venezuela to fight back against U.S. imperialism in their countries. Is that right?
That's right.
The Filipino mass movement and the Filipino people stand in steadfast solidarity with the people of Venezuela.
That's right.
We stand with all people fighting against U.S. imperialism. We demand that the U.S. government stop their attacks against the Venezuelan people. Hands up, Venezuela!
Stop Venezuela.
Hands up, Venezuela!
Hands up Venezuela.
Hands up, Venezuela!
Hands up Venezuela.
Thank you. Fund the people's needs, not the war machine.
Not the war machine.
Fund the people's needs,
Fund the people's needs.
not the war machine.
Not the war machine.
Up next, we welcome Hugh from Flair.
Hello! My beautiful people, thank you for coming out on short notice. It is you that are going to change this world! I am from declare, which stands for liberation and resistance everywhere. And I take that name seriously. We have been encamped in D.C. right outside Union Station or on the National Mall for over 200 days. Weathering the heat, the cold, and any harassment we get from fascist agitators or members of this regime. We have been decamped twice, and we refuse to give up. And I stand here today to say we stand in solidarity with the people of Venezuela. As the many great speakers before have already pointed out, this is an unjust attack that is at the behest of tyrants and billionaires aiming to get more rich off of us. And shame! I say shame to that! Shame! This is our country, and it was founded on the idea that the people get to make the decisions. Not a goddamn tyrant, and not a goddamn regime. So, I want you to say this chant, and I want these demons to fucking hear it. Whose streets? Our streets! Whose city? Our city! Whose country? Our country! Whose world? Our world! That is goddamn right! And these demons And I want to say that it will always be our world. It will always be the people's world. Because as long as the gears of society are turned by our hands, it will never stop being ours. The many people here before me have already laid clear that this is unjust, this is a hypocritical attack, and it can easily get worse. But what they also mentioned is how we will get to the end of this. And that is organizing. Becoming the leaders in our communities. Organizing our neighbors, our streets, and our cities to stand up to these tyrants killing us. I know it's hard. I know how this regime has hurt people. Because sitting every day at the encampment that I've been at, I have seen the pain on the average citizen's face. I have heard stories of hardship. But we will endure. We will see a better world. And we will forge it. Free from poverty. A world free from oppression. And a world free from war and imperialist aggression. Hands off Venezuela! Hands off Venezuela! Get louder, I know you can! And these demons hear you! Hands off Venezuela! 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 Y'all have some beautiful voices. Make sure you are heard and make sure you organize your communities. Y'all are leaders. And it is us, the people, that will change the world. We got this, y'all. Keep on organizing, keep on fighting. Never give up. We are the indomitable human spirit. And when we are met with tyranny, when we are met with hate, we never buckle. We never yield. We just keep pushing forward.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Donald Trump in the USA.
Donald Trump in the USA.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Donald Trump in the USA.
Donald Trump in the USA.
I am pleased to introduce our final speaker, Lindolfo, a Salvadoran activist. Give him a warm welcome.
Hello everyone. I hope everyone is yet starting this year in the struggle for social justice, not just in the United States, but around the world. Buenos días, buenas tardes a todos. Espero que este año está iniciando en la lucha, en las calles por la justicia social, no solo aquí en los Estados Unidos, pero en el mundo. Mi nombre es Lindolfo Carballo. Yo nací y crecí en El Salvador. Hi, my name is Lindolfo Carballo. I was born and grew up in El Salvador. I grew up throughout the Civil War. I fought alongside with thousands and thousands of compañeros and compañeras against the army of El Salvador, against the imperialism of the United States. We fought and we won.
That's right.
And today, when I woke up, seeing this news from this bastard who's persecuting us in the United States, persecuting us all over the world, and we cannot let him get away with that.
That's right.
Let him get away with that.
Yeah.
Todos ellos están tratando de dividirnos. Ellos están tratando de ponernos unos gente de bajos recursos en contra de gente de bajos recursos. Mientras nos están robando nuestros recursos en Latinoamérica, África, Asia. These terrorists, will pay for it.
That's right.
Let's say, these terrorists will pay for it.
That's right.
These terrorists will pay for it.
That's right.
Thank you.
Hands off Venezuela!
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 Hands
the working class Venezuelans.
That's right!
I will see you all in the streets. Our fight is not over.
That's right!
I'm afraid the rapid response choir has departed, but we are the DC Activist Street Band, and we'll leave you with one more song. This one's by Woody Guthrie, All You Fascists Bound to Lose. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.